changing your life one story at a time. This is the Chicken Soup for the Soul podcast with Editor-in-Chief Amy Newmark.
Hey, it's Amy Newmark with your daily dose of Chicken Soup for the Soul inspiration. It's Wow Wednesday, and I want to talk about a fascinating dream that was recounted in Chicken Soup for the Soul Dreams and Premonitions. I found it so interesting that I also talk about it in my new book, Simply Happy, which is coming out next week, actually, on October 4th. Most of the dreams that I've talked about in various episodes of this podcast are not really hard to analyze. They come right out and they tell you what you need to know. Often, it's just that your subconscious is telling you something that you already know, but that you've been too busy to focus on. While you're sleeping and you're not distracted by all the sights and sounds of the day, you can actually pay attention to your subconscious. But once in a while, your subconscious might provide you with a dream that takes a little more time to figure out. And Linda Jackson had such a dream, which she relates in her story called First Things First. So Linda's daughters were in 5th grade and in kindergarten when she had this dream that changed everything for her. She and her husband had just started a new ministry, and as part of that ministry, they volunteered at an after-school program. It was Monday through Friday from 3 o'clock until well into the evening, and sometimes they didn't arrive home until 8. Then Linda was offered a paid job at the after-school program, and she welcomed the extra income and responsibility, but it also caused an increase in her hours. Now, her daughters would come to the program and be there with her. They would hang out with the other kids, and her 5th grader would do her homework there. But still, they weren't home. And sometimes now with this new paid job, the family didn't get home until 9 o'clock. And then things were going so well that Linda was offered another promotion to the position of director of the whole program. This was big, and it was an opportunity to have a bigger positive impact on all the kids. But the hours would get even worse. Linda was already feeling guilty because she was giving so much of her time to the other children, and even though her girls were there with her, she wasn't specifically paying enough attention to them. So she decided to think about that director position for a while. And then she had a dream. It was about her neighbor's yard. Now, her neighbor's yard had always been lovely, very well maintained. But in this dream, that once well-cared-for lawn was overgrown with weeds, and her neighbor, looking haggard and worn, told her, "I've been so busy taking care of other people's yards that I haven't had time to take care of my own." Linda woke up, and then she thought, wow, I can't believe how horrible Mr. Jones's yard looked. And then she realized it was a dream, and she dismissed it, and she went on with her day. Later that morning, though, she randomly opened her Bible to the Song of Solomon, and she read the following: "My mother's children were angry with me. They made me the keeper of the vineyards, but mine own vineyard have I not kept." So this is starting to get obvious to us, right? We know the power of dreams. Linda kind of saw the connection about her neighbor's yard, but she didn't really get it. And then Linda's older daughter started having trouble with her grades. And Linda realized that her family was barely having time to gobble down dinner when they got home before they went to bed. And that's when Linda finally hated the dream. She quit working at the after-school program altogether, and she spent evenings at home with her kids, tending to her own vineyard. I'm Amy Newmark. Thanks for listening to the Chicken Soup for the Soul podcast today. Tomorrow is Thoughtful Thursday, and we're going to talk about the power of words and about one little word with a big impact that you may want to eliminate from your vocabulary. If you'd like to read more tips from Chicken Soup for the Soul Dreams and Premonitions and learn more about my new book, Simply Happy, then please go to our website, chickensoup.com.